systems, concepts and types of economic systems that we are going to discuss. Uh, we see we see after independence in India and its leaders set out in pursuit of nation building. I mentioned that just after independence, the greater agenda is to set the nation economically, socially, politically, the to meet the aspirations of the people, because in an independent nation the aspirations of the people will be high and the government has to meet the expectations of the people. But largely after independence, largely we saw tremendous problem are being faced nationwide. The problem of poverty, illiteracy, ill health, inequality, and many other problems. Large population without schooling, no sufficient schools. The literacy level of literacy rate is very low. By health or health wise, we experience that different diseases, no health infrastructure, no basic health facilities, healthcare facilities to the population. Poverty is at its peak. The issues of nutrition, the issues of hunger, and many other problems the country was facing. The systems of plan development was adhered to with the objective of providing better standard of living to all the citizens. So government of India came up with the idea of plan development. In India, we have 5-year plan. So government comes up with 5-year plan. 5-year plan. So government started planning, keeping the people at the center. I have already discussed. So in some 5-year plan, the focus was on agriculture. In some 5-year plan, the focus was on creating infrastructure, spreading railway lines. So the development of the country was surrounded with 5-year plan. So India was to some extent successful in executing its responsibility as a welfare state. Another thing I would like to mention about Indian political system, that is India is a welfare state. So in the Constitution of India, after the independence was achieved in 1947, the country started drafting its constitution. By 1950, we got our own constitution. So in the constitution, what will be the economic nature of the country, social nature of the country? India became a welfare state. Welfare. Welfare of whose welfare? The welfare of the total population. So welfare model was adopted. In one side, in our country, we were experiencing after independence poverty as the top, illiteracy, hunger, malnutrition, ill health, inequality, all sphere of life. At the same time, the government has to fulfill the aspirations of the people. Number one. Number two, government has to address the socio-economic and political problems of the country. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you're
Yes, you are very
audible.
audible.
Okay. So due to long imperialism, the country suffered a lot. The poverty problem of hunger, malnutrition, poverty. At the same time, the government adopted the agenda of welfare for all. So government was in a position to come up with welfare programs, that is people centric programs, development programs, welfare programs. Different welfare policies were adopted, different development schemes were introduced subsequently to address malnutrition issues, to address poverty issues, to provide food to all. So food programs like midday meals in the schools, PDS system, public distribution system, pre-food, provision of providing food, providing free education, establishing schools, coming up with rural development programs like housing schemes. Subsequently, not overnight. So I mentioned India became an independent state, introduced its own constitution, came up with the idea of welfare country and wanted to promote welfare programs and schemes in the country. And different welfare policies were also introduced. Different PSUs, public sectors were also established. Different welfare measures were taken in order to address the issues of inequality. Different social legislations were introduced in order to promote education among people, addressing the issues of gender inequality, and many other welfare schemes were introduced slowly. I'm not saying that all the problems are addressed, but government of India and respective state governments and even local self governments, they tried a lot to bridge up the gaps in the field of poverty, in the field of hunger, in order to promote literacy rates among rural population, urban population, and again between genders. Even if schools are there, girl children are not coming. Dropout rate of girls is much higher compared to the boys. Similarly, schooling of marginalized sections like SCs and STs in India, certain scheduled caste and scheduled tribes populations are living far behind in the field of literacy. In the field of literacy. So the agenda is to educate the mass, to end up the poverty, to feed the population. So welfare programs and welfare schemes were adopted. A different policies were introduced. Let us try to understand the concept of economic systems. In economic system, we have tried to understand one is capitalism, another is socialism. Particularly these two economic system we discuss. One is capitalism. Any idea of capitalism? Any idea of capitalism? Capitalism. Another is socialism. Can anybody explain these two? Capitalism. Anybody has listened about capitalism?
Hello?
Please explain.
Am I audible?
Please explain.
Yes, capitalism is an economic system where businesses,
Please
land,
be louder. Please be louder.
and industries are owned by private individuals instead of the government. Hello?
Please tell.
Yes, capitalism is is an economic system where businesses, land, and the industries are owned by private individuals instead of government.
Okay. Okay. Anyone? Any other person? Any other person? Capitalism and socialism. These two economic model we are going to understand in this paper when we refer to understand economic system in India and beyond also. Capitalism, the United States of America is an example of capitalist economy. You have rightly pointed out, capitalism is something in which the capital, the core wealth, is not owned by the government or the people at large. Rather, the capital is with the capitalist, the industrialist, those who have large capitals at their hands, and they influence the total economy. While in socialism, the capital is not with the hands of the capitalists, rather with the government, with the people. The entire market, the ownership of means of production lies in the hands of private individual and institutions in a capitalist mode of economy. The total production system, the total market is with the hands of the industrialist or the individual or the institutions. It is wholly market based, and profit is the guiding principle of all the economic activities, regulated by the forces of demand and supply. That is what we understand by capital economy. So, capital economy is something in which the capital, the market, the production, everything is lying with the hands of handful of capitalists. They control the entire capital. They control the entire market. The idea of demand and supply. Simply there will be demand by the public, there will be supply by the capital through productions. The total economy, the total market is at the hand of the capitalists. So in this capital economy, What are the demerits? Now, in the capitalist mode of economy, there is disproportionate sharing of wealth. Wealth is not equally and equitable owned by the people. Rather, it is with the capitalists, it is with handful of population in that country. Number one. Number two, capitalist mode of economy never believes in welfare of the neglected people or welfare of the larger population. Rather, the interest of the capitalist is the sole interest, and the interest of the capitalist is the interest of the market only. The interest of the common people at the ground is not the interest of the capitalist economic system. So here, risk of cyclical fluctuations, ruthless competitions are there. There is greater distance between haves and have-nots. Haves means those who have capitals, those who are rich, their haves, and have-nots. Have-nots means those who are not capitalists or those who are not industrialists, with those where money or the capital is not there. So the gap between haves and have-nots is seen at large level. That is the capitalist economy. So people are divided in two groups, haves and have-nots, as Marx was telling about. Haves and have-nots. So there is exploited group, there is exploited group in this economic model. And encourages it encourages means encouragement to success and hard work consumer, and here we find that consumer sovereignty becomes a myth, as most of the consumption choices are directed by the advertisement and propagandas. Here, even the choice of the people is not determined, is not considered. Rather, choice is being created among people through advertisement and propagandas. For example, in a market, some soap comes, some detergent powder comes, that will be advertised so powerfully that people will need that. Even if there will be no need of particular item in the even if there will be no demand of particular item in the society, but the same thing will be produced by the company and will be marketed, and that will be propagated and advertised, so that there will be need of the population. The choice of the population is not given priority, rather the product comes, that becomes the product of the market through propaganda and advertisements. Certainly, there are certain merits of this capitalist economic model or capitalist mode of economy. Here in capitalist mode of economy, economic freedom, equal right to work. Equal right to work comes. Anybody who is skillful, men and women, girl or boy, rich or poor, who is skillful will be employed. Who is skillful will be employed. So that is the opportunity the capitalist mode of economic provides, equal opportunity to right to work. So it also encourages right to acquire wealth. Anybody, whatever wealth you can accumulate, you are fit person, you are a business man or business lady, you know how to do good business, you can accumulate wealth whatever amount you want to have, whatever amount, no limitation. You can have wealth, you can accumulate wealth. So also here the focus is on quality productions, because there is competition in the market. So there will be not a single company to produce particular good, no? For example, some refrigerator, some air conditioner comes in the market. There will be many other competitions. The same product will be produced by many companies and industries. So there will be healthy competition among those companies. Therefore, there is possibility of quality productions. And here focus is given on the choice of the persons, the market. Whatever is being advertised and propagated, if that becomes the choice of the people, certainly that will come or bounce back. That will come at large scale. So the quality is given prime focus. These are the merits and demerits of capitalism or the capitalist mode of economy. Now its time is up. We will discuss tomorrow socialism or the socialist economic model. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Have a nice day.
If you are prepare or making any WhatsApp group,
Yes, sir.
was there
Sir, we
any?
have a WhatsApp group.
Yeah, we have.
Okay, so you can add on to others and you can add me also.
Okay, sir. Stephen,
Okay,
you are
you can
online.
drop your
We should
number in
collect
that
his number so that you
in
add him.
call message. You can drop your number.
Yeah, my number I am just typing here.
Okay, fine.
Plus
Okay,
nine.
sir.
It is plus 91 9438 747 320. Plus nine
Thank you,
one
sir.
nine four nine four three eight 747 320. So have a good day.
Welcome. Thank you.